How you going? Nick here from Animal Engineering. I'm going to do a quick little video series on doing an exhaust up for the RX8 I got here. So I bought this a couple months ago from a local guy here in Perth. It's all set up ready for drifting. So never done drifting before, but want to get into it. So yeah, already got the engine and that in there. I'm just going to start doing the exhaust system for it. So as you can see, it's already sort of had a lot of work done to it. All the knuckles and everything have been done. Steering's all done. She's got the roll cage in there, and the radiator and everything's all been moved up the back, sorry. So yeah, she's a multicoloured beast. But yeah, having that radiator up the back already is a bit of a bonus really. It's made it a lot easier to get the engine in there. Got a LS1 with a T56 manual transmission. So yeah, heaps of room up the front to get the exhaust and everything done, and yeah, I'll strip all the front off and we'll get going. So yeah, as you can see, I've already got the LS1 in there. I've done it yesterday. It's all ready to go. So plan exhaust wise for this is to do a 180 degree setup. So basically we'll have 2 cylinders from this side mating up to a collector on this side with 2 cylinders from this side, and opposite from this one here come in, we have two 401 collectors here going straight into an X pipe, and then the exhaust will go split into 2 from the X pipe, one down this side and one down this side. So hopefully it should give it a pretty unique sound. 290s, so they'll get cut and joined together. Then got the 45, so I've got 4 45s come off that. That there. And then that'll go into 2 4-inch collectors, 4-to-1 collectors, sorry. So we end up something like that in front of the engine there. So we'll just clamp these together and take it over to the car and have a bit of a look. Alright, so there we have it. That's the basic X pipe shape, and then 2 4-into-1s off that. So we'll take it over to the car and have a look how she lines up. Alright, so we're over here. Well, these all join up just with some clamps at the moment. Have a bit of a play around here and see how much room we've got. It's actually a hell of a lot bigger than I was expecting. The X pipe's massive. I guess when it's down below a car and it's sort of flat like that, it's not as bad, but when you're putting it in front of the engine, it's a lot bigger than I was sort of anticipating it being. Lucky we've got heaps of room here. There's no radiator or anything, so there's a big void at the front here, so we've got plenty of room to work with. But I've also got to keep in mind that I've got the 4-into-1 collectors coming off the top here as well, so I need to try and keep it as low as possible. So yeah, we'll just have a bit of a play around and we'll see how it goes. But so I think something like that's going to be the go. Have it more of a horizontal X pipe sort of style. And yeah, we'll have the 2 4-into-1s coming off the top here. I think I'm gonna have to, there's a bit of a flat, you can see here, there's like a flat spot before the radius actually starts. So I think I should be able to trim maybe like 20 mil off both sides of the bend here, and actually bring it short and try and condense this whole thing and make it a bit smaller. Yeah, I think I'll have the top one there, bottom one down here, and then I can kick these up Let that flow up and around down there on both sides. And that'll be the two runners heading to the back. I think first things first, we'll get these two 90s together, and then we'll bring it back and try and work out where we're going to go. Alright, so to make the X pipe, we've got to remove 1/3 of the diameter from this side here, and then we'll join the two together. So the diameter of the pipe we've got here is 63.55 mil. So to times that by 0.33 gives us 20.9 millimeters. So we need to take 20.9 millimeters off from this face here, going this way. Alright, so I've got some blue dye in here. We'll just paint that on the elbow. That'll just make it easy to see our scribe line for when we're cutting and marking. Alright, so I'll just let that dry for a minute and then we'll scribe her up. Alright, so I've got my elbow clamped up to the block here. It's all nice and square. It's flat on the table. I'm just using a height gauge here. Alright, so we're on top of the elbow. We have 103.17 millimeters. So we'll take away 21. So it gives us 82 millimeters. So we'll drop the height gauge down to 82. And then we'll scribe our line around both sides. So as you can see there, we've got a nice line to follow when we make our cut. Right, so it's going to be using a grinder with a 1mm cutting disc. Chop this section off and clean her up. See how the two pieces meet. Now, the grinder is not really the best tool for doing that. It does work, but it bounces around. You can see there, just trying to get it started on the stainless tube. It sort of tends to bounce around a bit on you. Ideally, a bandsaw would be the go. I've got one here, but I just don't have the power capacity to actually run it, so I've got to use the old grinder. So we'll just chuck a flap disc on and we'll clean her up. So, good thing with the die mark, using the blue die mark, is you can get that scribe line. So now we've made the cut. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on here, but you can see the you just sort of see the scribe line there. So we'll just go down with the flat disc down till we hit that scribe line, and it should be fairly close. Maybe do a bit of file work on it, just get it tidied up. Alright, so we've got a cut, we've got it cleaned up. A little bit rough with the grinder, but should be alright. So we'll just clean her off with some acetone now, get rid of all the blue dye chem, and then we'll get her tacked up. Alright, so we've got two 90s cut. Put them together. Didn't turn out too bad. A little bit of light you can see through there, but what we're working with the grinder, I think it's come up pretty good. Yeah, we'll join these two together and then we'll take it back over to the car and see what sort of size and work out we're going to go from there. Alright, so now we've got them tacked together. We'll chuck it back up on the engine here and we'll see how we're going to go. It's actually quite surprising how much it's shrunken down already just by cutting them two pieces off and then joining the two 90s together. So, Right, so the header pipes are going to come through from this level here, both sides. So they're probably going to end up coming up around this area and then coming around, then down and in. So it's not looking too bad. Just trying to decide which way around to have it, if I want it this way or that way. So we'll chuck the 4-into-1 collectors on the top and then we'll have a look at it and see how it goes. So as you can see, this is one of the main issues I'm sort of having here, is keeping it all condensed down. So I've got enough room to flow the header pipes from the side of the engine to come around and sweep in. Obviously we need to lose a decent amount of height out of this area here. So I know I can get about 20 mil off the elbow. I can probably get close to 50 mil out of that, so that should bring these right down. But I'm also thinking that the distance apart is too wide as well. So I might have to take some out of this joint as well, maybe reduce that down, take 20 mil off each, and that should, if I take 40 mil out of there, 40 mil out of this side, that'll bring it in together and get a bit closer. I also don't want to have it too close that I can't get the pipes to come and sweep from this bank to this side without having them interfere too much with the ones coming from the other side. But I also need to have it low enough so that I can have an intake tube coming from the throttle body through the centre above the pipes that are coming into these. We'll spin it around, we'll try the other way as well. Alright, so just turning those two elbows around 90 degrees at 245s and making this one vertical instead of horizontal. See, I've already brought the two collectors closer together. I think that's a good distance apart. So I think we might run it that way and just we can probably take a good 60 mil out of here and drop this right down. Alright, so just going backwards and forwards a bit here, just checking it out both ways, but I think either way we're definitely going to have to shorten, take a chunk out of this section. So I think we'll do that. Alright, so back at the car, got the two merge collectors have been cut down and these two 45s on these sides have been trimmed down as well. So just putting it back of the engine here, it still seems way too tall. If I have this X-pipe vertical that way, you can see the collectors are right up at the top of the engine there, which is no good. So we might just have to quickly pull it apart and get the X-pipe horizontal, and we'll have another look at the height. Alright, so I think it's definitely going to have to be horizontal. There's no really other way around it. So probably go and chop 20 mil out of the other end of that elbow there, and probably trim 20 off these ones as well on the actual X-pipe, and that'll bring it down a bit more and bring these in a little bit closer. You see at the moment there's a fair gap in between them. I think that's probably a bit too far away, so we'll trim another 25 mil off the other side of the elbow and off the X-pipe. We'll see how that goes. We've never actually built a set of these before. I've never really built an exhaust before, so it's all a bit of a learning curve. But yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction anyway. I hope so, because I've got no spare pipe or elbows. Right, so back again, I've done all those cuts and I've just cable tied it back together for the time being. We'll use those hose clamps there. So I'm pretty happy with how that's come out actually. It's shortened it down I've only taken out the 2 lots of 25mm. It moves it around a lot. So yeah, it's made it a lot shorter, and it's, as you can see, it's brought these like heaps closer together. I think that's a good distance apart. And looking in front of the engine now, you can see the difference from the throttle body to the top of the collectors now. It's from where we started out. This was right down at the bottom of the pulley, and these were above the engine, so we've come a long way. So I think we're going to call that good. So we'll tack that all together and then try and start working out how we're going to do this bottom bit. Alright, so there you go. We've got the X-pipe all done, tacked up. The 4-in-1 collectors on the top. So yeah, 2 from this bank will come to this side, and 2 from this side will come to this side. And then we'll do the 180 degrees exhaust setup. So I think now the next move is probably try and mount this into the car in its final position. Use some flat bar or something to just tack it in place where it's actually going to live. And then that way we've got it set to a point, so when we start doing the actual headers coming out of the block into here, this isn't going to move. And we can also start on doing the 2 exhaust runners out to the back end. So I think that's the next move. We'll get this locked into a position, centered in the car into the height that we want, and then we'll start flowing on from there. So yeah, as you can see, I've got the crash bar in. I've got the collector just sort of clamped in place at the moment. I think that's a good location. Got a bit of clearance there to the pulley. Come around the front. You see it's sort of centered. Heaps of room for the intake tube to come through. There's obviously going to be lots of pipes coming here, going that way and this way and all over the show. But yeah. I think for the most part it's looking pretty good. So I'll just chuck the bumper back on. So you can see with the bumper back on, you can see it right through the gap there, looks pretty awesome. Pretty happy with that. Alright, so we'll leave it there for this episode. Yeah, next time we'll carry on. Cheers for watching.